CSC's CEO. Please welcome to the stage, Debbie Ware.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and supporting Cancer Support Community tonight. I'm going to give away our first honorary award tonight. To be selected to receive Cancer Support Community's Founders Award is to be recognized for living up to the ideals and promises made by CSC's founders. It recognizes the shared commitment to lifting people's spirits and easing burdens of cancer. That is exactly what all of our tonight's honorees have done. We would like to first recognize the Honorable Debbie Wasserman Schultz, representing the 25th Congressional District of Florida. Representative Wasserman Schultz's longtime dedication to those living with cancer culminated last year in her introduction of a groundbreaking cancer survivorship legislation. She has worked in both her home district in Florida and the U.S. House of Representatives to build support for needed policy. Sharing her own personal experience as a cancer survivor to fighting to ensure that all Americans can access the healthcare services they need, to giving cancer patients, caregivers, and survivors a platform to have their voices heard. She's been a tireless, powerful, passionate, compassionate advocate for the cancer community. It is my pleasure and honor to present the inaugural Founders Award for Public Service to Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
I'm vertically challenged, so I'm going to step out from the podium and just say to Debbie, to the entire cancer support community, it's hard to really even put into words how much I appreciate the Founders Public Service Award, especially being its first recipient. I have appreciated my work with CSC for so many years, particularly around the subject of survivorship, because over the time, and I am approaching my 16th year as a breast cancer survivor in December, and right, that's always a cause for applause and celebration anytime you can hear from someone's survivor story, which I won't go through for me, but I have always been, through my public service, involved in the fight against cancer. I passed in Florida as a state legislator the drive-through mastectomy bill. If you remember back years ago when insurance companies were kicking women out of the hospital after they had just had a double mastectomy, only allowing them to stay and cover their stay for 24 hours. I mean, who knew that you fast forward a number of years later, I was ever going to need to benefit from that law being passed? But I can assure you that I could not even possibly wrap my mind around at that time the idea of leaving the hospital 24 hours after I had had my double mastectomy. And the importance of taking care and making sure that policy and regulation and advocacy and science and research are focused throughout the entire continuum on someone's cancer journey is so critical. And what we have had over the decades upon decades of all of those different facets of the fight against cancer is that we've gotten so much of that journey right, and we have forgotten or left in the wilderness survivors who thankfully are growing in number, but as a result of the focus being nearly entirely on eradicating or beating cancer, we have left in the wilderness so many who, once they're finished with their active treatment, are kind of left on their own to figure out what they do next. And it shouldn't, your geography, your ethnicity, your cultural background, your socioeconomic status, it should not matter what category you fall into that determines whether or not you get consistent, comprehensive guidance and care so that you can remain a survivor for the rest of your natural life and not encounter secondary cancers, not encounter the kinds of things that crop up as a result of you having your active treatment finished. But there are still so many issues health-wise and in terms of the way you should restructure your life, because even though you're finished with active treatment, that doesn't finish the necessity that you transform some of the way you lived before so that you can remain a survivor. And not only that, but that so that you can thrive as a survivor. I know there were so many things that I did to change my lifestyle, my focus, how I treated my own body, and the guidance that I've had along the way for, what screenings I needed to get. Everybody shouldn't have to be a member of Congress to get access to the kind of top-notch care and guidance to ensure that they can thrive throughout the rest of their life. So that's why, thank you. And I appreciate the input and feedback from the cancer support community on the Comprehensive Cancer Survivorship Act, which is, if it becomes law, monumental comprehensive legislation that, I'm the kind of person, we may not pass it all in one fell swoop, but if we can't pass it all in one fell swoop, we'll take it in pieces. We'll go over, we'll go under, we'll go through, we'll go around, but together we have a unified cancer advocacy community that is committed to focusing on completing the cancer continuum through your entire journey. So thank you to Debbie. Thank you to Gilda's Club, especially Gilda's Club in South Florida, who was with me for our Cancer Survivorship Summit. I launched a all-day Cancer Survivorship Summit, my first annual. Dr. Biden, the First Lady, was my keynote speaker. Our VA Secretary came and spoke. We had huge mega panels of experts, all focused on making sure that we can continue to have advances once you finish your active treatment. And so I look forward to continuing this fight side by side with you. Thank you for the reinforcement. Not necessary, but so appreciated. Thank you so much.